Hi there. This is a quick video. I just wanted to basically talk a little bit about where I am in my meditation journey. At the start of summer, a few things in my personal life had happened that caused quite a bit of just a lot of extra stress in my life. And I knew that I had to increase my meditation practice. Prior to this, I had been coming home and doing meditation for about 15 minutes a day. Maybe I would do another 5 minutes in the morning, but it was not as frequent as I knew it should be. I've always been told, but we have this habit as humans that when our lives are very comfortable, when we have enough money, when we're not sick, and when we are basically getting along with most people in our lives, we have this tendency to not seek out change or spiritual growth or even personality growth, because why would we when everything's going well? So a lot of times our life circumstances force us to seek out a plan in which we improve ourselves. And I think all of us, especially those with high sensitivity and high empathy, because we're going to be used to help others in their healing journeys, we set up sort of a crisis that would take us over, and that we had to get out of, either an abusive situation, or in my case, drug or alcohol dependence, or maybe an addiction on a different type of behavior, sexual addiction or a gambling addiction. Addiction is rampant, and we all are addicted to thinking, and we have these egos that are very sick. When I increased my meditation, I found that I was able to feel this divine rush of life energy. It was so clear to me what I was feeling, because it was so soothing, so healing. It felt so like a rush of just the most loving, adoring, curious and frisky and soothing energy I've ever felt in my life. I could feel it in my heart center as I placed my attention on my heartbeat more and more. Basically, the more meditation that I would do, the more I dedicated myself to this path, the more physical benefits I started to receive. I have always had problems with my knee since I was 12 years old. I have an extra bone deposit on my right knee. This causes the tendon to have to overstretch and become inflamed. So my left knee, my left leg started to compensate, and so I have inflammation on both legs and both knees, and a lot of scar tissue. When I started to get more control over where I placed my attention, basically my pulse, started with my fingertips. I would place my attention in my fingertips. A lot of times I would use crystals and hold them tightly, in my hand like this, because that creates the pulse. Then you can feel the energy of the crystal as well. But if you concentrate on that pulse, you stop thought. And that was my goal, to just try to stop thought without having to force it. And if you don't want to force it, then all you need to do is place your attention on something else. A thought, a delicious smell, you can use the senses to get to the present moment. There are a lot of people who feel that we should meditate with nothing. I do believe that's a wonderful thing to do, but that's quite advanced. I know that I'm only now reaching the point where I can meditate with no music, no incense, with just myself or outside sounds. But it's been now 3 years since I've been meditating. And I do think when you're in complete silence, it can be much harder and it can turn people off. So I myself loved using incense to start with. Some people can't stand incense. A lot of people, I do enjoy incense when it's a good quality. And what I would do is the smell, I would go deep into that smell and focus on it. And so I do think there's a place for using your senses in the physical world to go into a deep meditation. By focusing on just my smell, I stopped the thought, and I was able to go deeply into an experience that I hadn't before. So that's one way to begin. But I'm now at the point where I'm placing my attention in my body. I'm keeping it there so long that the pulse is causing a lot of blood to go to that place. So my knees. What I do is I get into the yoga butterfly position. So these would be my legs. These are my feet, and I keep my feet together. Of course, this causes a lot of strain on my knees if these were my knees. And what I do is, instead of contracting and resisting against that pain, is I allow the pulse, my pulse, to stay where the pain is. And so instead of my body doing this, I go, relax, relax. And each time I say relax, my legs will go down a little bit more, and I don't contract against the pain, and so blood's able to go ba-boom, ba-boom. And the more that the blood gathers here, it actually begins to break away the scar tissue of my body, because scar tissue is a buildup of a similar action or a trauma. Boom. So imagine I'm just walking on concrete all the time here in the city, and so all the scar tissue has built up. When you place your attention at that pain point and don't contract but ease into it and just allow the natural flow of your blood, you can, with the blood and the oxygen that's in there, you flood your system and you can break away scar tissue. This is an amazing self-healing technique that can be had through concentration, focus, and meditation, and we can all do this. We are amazing. Humanity is amazing, and I know that we look out there and we see our system crumbling, and we see a lot of ignorance and a lot of hurt, uneducated people. I know we're all fighting. I know we all feel apathetic at times, but once you start on the path of healing your ego and healing your body and healing your spirituality and healing your mind, suddenly life has a purpose, it has a meaning, it becomes fun, it becomes interesting, because you're like, wow, all of this I had no idea was here before. Or you did, because you're sensitive, so you sensed something was there, but you had no idea how magical things really are. Like for me, I always hoped, when I was a kid, I always hoped things were as magical as my fairy tales about unicorns and fairies and stuff. I always dreamed of mystical things and enchanted forests and all that stuff. And I know it's because it is real. It is real on a certain level. There are etheric beings. There are protective nature spirits. There's so much around us that I'm able to start to see now. There's like glimmers out the side of my eyes of entities. It's really amazing. I could always feel them, but now I can see them. And now I really understand what is meant by healing our own bodies. There's we can heal our own bodies through our thoughts and emotions, through the law of attraction, or we can do it our own physical selves by placing the attention on our injured part of our body and letting our own blood flow clear away scar tissue by not resisting. You see, the law of attraction is one of the universal laws that I've been learning a lot about, and I hope many people have been, because it is a real skill. It's a really deep thing to learn about. It's not a simple thing to embark on. It takes a lot, because you have to be willing to see your beliefs and how your beliefs have been limiting you, and then implant new beliefs. There's all these beautiful universal laws that we all should begin to study, because that gives us power. When we have the internet for now, before they start closing things down big time, but for now we have freedom to research a lot of stuff and use your heart to discern whether it's true or not. Maybe research David Icke and Jordan Maxwell, who did great. They're like the classical starters to all this research about the New World Order and the direction that the controlling families are taking us in. Research Alan Watts and Eckhart Tolle to learn about how to be in the present moment and reduce your ego. Barry Long, that's another one. Abraham, another one. On YouTube, there is Pockets of the Future, who's just a brilliant, intelligent spiritual person, but the reason that I really love his videos is because the energy of God is all around him in the videos, right? And so this gave me such a sense of relief because we don't experience godly people very much. And being an empath, it's just so easy to see how very godly, not religious, but just a person with a spiritual path. And so a role model, good role model. Who else would we study? I mean, you'd have to find your own people that you are willing to research. But there's definitely a need at this moment in time for us all to begin to understand ourselves, our world, our place in the world, and just to start improving our own lives. And then that energy will emanate off to the rest of the world and we'll start to become more healthy. Those who are not ready will probably, not make it. And that's okay, because those of us who are ready, who are on a spiritual path, who are looking for role models, people to emulate that are, have kindness, compassion, empathy. I think that we need to ask questions about our own belief systems, see where we're being held back, and ask questions about the world around us. I know for me, I am thrilled. I'm thrilled that my own body is now beginning to regenerate itself. I'm thrilled to be in the know about what's happening on the planet, about our consciousness rising and humanity healing its soul traumas. I'm very excited to be a part of this and aware of it all. Okay, I hope you have a great evening. October. It's beautiful. Goodbye.